Hello everyone. Today I'm going to share with you a suspenseful and thought-provoking event of my life. My name is Harvey. Currently I'm working as a teacher in a university. I've been working here for 6 years even though I found my wife from the same university. She used to be my student at the same university. Both of us were interested in each other and soon we got married. There were 4 people in my house: me, my wife, my stepdad, and my stepbrother. Our wedding night was good, but on this night she told me something worth giving goosebumps. She told me that when she was 10 years old, her stepfather raped her. After hearing this, I was totally shocked and promised her to stay by her forever. After getting married, I opted to have a part-time job as well in order to fulfill my wife's needs. My wife used to stay at home and used to engage in home chores most of the time. It has been 4 months since our marriage. One day when I reached home from the office and saw something strange. My wife was wearing a revealing dress. She was dusting the dining table and my stepfather was continuously gazing at her. As soon as he caught sight of me, he began to manipulate like nothing happened. I remember I took my wife to our bedroom and prohibited her from wearing a revealing dress. Well, to be honest, I really did not consider this matter much. One day, it was weekend, I was at home and my wife was making pancakes for me. When she delivered me the pancakes that had no sugar, it seemed like she was in deep thought. When I asked her what happened to her, she replied nothing. The same evening when I asked my wife to bring me a cup of tea, she gave me coffee instead of tea. There was must something wrong with her. I took my wife on dinner in order to ask from her the reason of her absent-mindedness. First she was hesitating. Later she complained that my stepfather stares at her all the time. She did not feel comfortable with him. I really did not consider her words in front of her, but this complaint was obviously in my mind. I could not begin to blame on my stepfather without having a proper evidence. Next day when I reached the university, I came to know that we will be having dinner by tonight as it was the farewell of the last batch students. I asked my wife to go with me, but she did not agree with me as she did not want to face her teachers in the university. Well, when we reached the venue, my wife's phone was continuously ringing. Later, she switched off her mobile. When I asked her who is calling her, she said that one of her friends is doing this. Her response was creepy as all her friends were already present at the farewell party. When I reached the home, I was obviously extremely tired and went to sleep as soon as I reached the home. When my eyes opened, it was about 4 a.m. I extended my hands towards my wife, being so sleepy, but I did not find her. I did not even find her in the washroom. I thought she must be outside in the kitchen. I ignored and laid back on the bed. I was shocked to see my wife coming into the room with a sweaty face. She seemed tired as well. She went to the washroom. To be honest, this sight was really beyond my understanding. The next morning when I asked my wife, "Honey, did you sleep comfortably last night?" She replied, "Yes, it was a comfortable night." I was confused after hearing this from her as she was really restless when I saw her unintentionally last night. My stepfather used to remain in the house most of the time since I got married. I remember once he was such a busy person that he did not even join us at the weekends. My stepfather used to use the laptop. It seemed like he knew everything online. My stepfather's laptop charger was not working as he started borrowing a laptop charger from my wife. Obviously, he was a rich person and could afford the charger, but he did not buy it. I catched my wife and my stepfather many times together, even late at night, and whenever I asked her what she was doing with my stepfather, and she always gave me the excuse that he was here to borrow my laptop charger. One day when I was attending a university teachers meeting, my wife was continuously calling me. I was in the meeting, so obviously could not pick her call. After getting free from the meeting, I called my wife, but did not pick the call even though I tried so many times, but she did not give any response. When I reached home, my wife's mood was really not good. It seemed like she was angry with me. I tried to fix her mood. However, when it was night and we both were about to sleep, my wife came towards me and then told me that stepfather did stare at her again with a bad intention when she was mopping the floor. I asked her to tell me the whole scenario, but she said that she did not remember exactly. Her complaint was getting on my nerves day by day. To be honest, I was not able to make a decision as they both seemed involved. One day, I saw something highly perplexing. I remember all my family members were going to the picnic. We appointed a car as I could not drive for so long. My stepbrother was sitting in the front of the car. It was really awkward that I told my stepfather to sit in the front, but he did not agree with the excuse that he got nausea while sitting at the front side. It was late at night and I was sleeping at the back side of the car along with my wife. I was completely immersed in sleeping. I got kind of thirsty, so my eyes unintentionally opened. I looked here and there and caught a sight at my stepfather. He was resting head on my wife's shoulder. I thought everything happened unintentionally, but it was shocking that my wife and stepfather were awake and were holding their hands as well. I shouted and said to my wife that I wanted water. As soon as they both listened to me, they both began to settle and fix themselves. When my wife gave water to me, she said that my stepfather was trying to touch her body. I really did not respond, as I had already seen a scenario from my own eyes that she was comfortable and having no problem with my stepfather. Things were getting complicated day by day. I wasn't even able to focus on my work properly. One day when I was in high complex thinking in the staff room of university, when one of the senior professor came and asked me the reason of my depression, firstly I hesitated as I really did not want to expose my domestic matter, but later I told him each and everything as I really wanted someone to share this matter, as this matter was ruining my mental peace and my mind were literally spinning. He was basically an IT professor. He gave me the best suggestion. He told me to check out my wife's phone, although it was indeed a great big task as she was having passwords set up on her phone. But the IT professor told me something really amazing. Even she shared with me some YouTube channel links as well in order to hack my wife's phone. When I reached the home, my wife seemed upset. Then she asked me to have a separate house. Even the same night, I saw my wife continuously engaging with someone on the phone. When she realized that I noticed her, she went to the washroom and literally spent about 1.5 hours over the washroom. I remember I took many tutorials in order to hack my wife's phone. All I want now is my wife's phone, but her phone remained occupied most of the time, like even when she used to take her phone with her in the washroom as well. It was really impossible for me to check out her phone. Situation was getting okay as my wife stopped complaining about my stepfather. I even started thinking positively about them both, as if they are just like father and daughter. One day when I was having the birthday of my stepfather was really excited for his son's birthday party, but he did something not acceptable. Like that time, he was so drunk that he kissed my wife. My wife seemed comfortable with him, but when looked at me, she pushed him back. To be honest, I really did not know what she did was a fear after seeing me, or actually she did not want him to kiss her. I even did not take the sight on my nerves and thought that he might have done it with high excitement. My physical relationship with my wife was going just okay, but she was tired most of the time, like if she was always full. Once, an event happened in my life that changed my life. Once I got tickets to a fun gala for us all from the university. My stepfather was fond of pictures. He seemed excited to go. I really did not want him to go with us as he was so old for this kind of event, but on his great insistence, I took him as well. I remember when my wife was dressing herself in front of the mirror, my stepfather stared at her, but when he found me there in the room, he began to say that we were getting late. Hurry up, guys. We all were on the way. My stepfather asked me to play a good song in the car. I was driving, so I asked my wife to play a song. As soon as she played a song, my stepfather unintentionally said that, "Oh, it's my only favorite." I really don't know as if it was a coincidence or my wife is really aware of my stepfather's likes. When we reached the gala, we began to start photography as the event was having really amazing backgrounds and themes. My stepfather was really excited and asked me to take his photos. I was taking pictures from my phone, but I got my battery down, so I took his phone. I was about to check his pictures. Meanwhile, he ran towards the washroom and might have had some emergency. My wife was on the other side. She was buying some stuff for her. I was waiting for my stepfather. Meanwhile, I was shocked to receive 2 or 3 texts from my wife on my stepfather's phone. I was all shocked, like she was continuously messaging him. I checked his phone and something unbelievable happened. My wife and my stepfather were having a proper conversation with each other like they do share everything. Even I was shocked to read erotic chat and stuff they have shared with each other. I was shocked to read out that my wife was saying to my stepfather that she did not find any physical attraction in me. I saw many transaction screenshots like if my father used to pay her. I was shocked to see that they both were in a relationship with each other. Everything I read was on my nerves. I was in a fit of fury, moved towards my wife and slapped her. She pushed me back and said that I did not have any right to do physical abuse. As soon as my stepfather reached, he yelled at me and asked me the reason for doing this. I was really very furious that time. I pushed him back as well. A quarrel was all settled. Everyone at the gala was judging us. The IT professor took us aside and calmed me down. When I asked my wife about this all and showed her a chat with my stepfather, firstly she was literally sweating and was like fish out of water. Later she was totally normal and confessed something that broke my heart. She said, "I really did not find any attraction to you physically, as I already told you that I had been physically active with my stepfather, so I was fond of being physical with old age people. I used to seduce your stepfather. I even tried everything to make him fall for me, even after the first day of our wedding. But your stepfather was not agreed. Even one day your stepfather warned me to complain you regarding my insistence, so I decided to falsely complain you about your stepfather before he did." She remained quiet after saying these words. I was yelling and asking her about what happened next. My stepfather finished the rest of the story that made me even more broken. He said, "Obviously, I am a man. Your wife used to seduce me in every possible way. Even she asked me to pay her as well. You used to be at your workplace. I was all alone, so her idea was not that bad. Soon I got no objection as I got the very young girl who totally agreed, in fact forcing me to have a relationship." After hearing this all, I was extremely disappointed with both of them. Like, I tried my best to make her happy even though I was doing part-time jobs as well, just to see her happy. I literally used to take care of her like a baby. Girls opt to have a young man for being physical, but my wife wanted an older person? Like, seriously? She must be psycho as she was raised in such an inappropriate environment. There was obviously no mean to live her. She must be my mom instead of being my wife. I divorced her the next day. Literally after 1 week of divorce, I got married to one of my co-workers. I am literally enjoying with her and I got the spark of marriage now because my ex-wife really used to hesitate and remain tired most of the time when it comes to being physical. What should you do if you got the same situation? Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more interesting and engrossing real couple stories. Thanks for watching.